Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Daily English Voices. You're here, you pressed play, and that already tells me something important about you. You care about your growth. So take a breath and settle in. Imagine we're walking side by side through a quiet park or sitting at a small table by a window, the kind of place where thoughts feel unhurried and honest. Today, I want to talk to you like a friend who knows your frustrations and respects your ambition. We're going to dig deep into something deceptively simple that shapes almost every effort you make: how you measure progress. Do you count minutes or milestones? Do you rely on routine or do you chase outcomes? Most people choose one strategy and then wonder why they burn out or stall, but there's a gentler, smarter path, a path that blends time based habits with result based checkpoints so you can move forward steadily without losing your spark. By the end of our time together, you'll not only understand the difference in your head, you'll feel it in your bones and know exactly what to do next today, not someday. Let's begin with a feeling you probably know too well. It's late at night. You open your notebook or your app and promise, from tomorrow, 1 hour of English every day. No excuses. The first 2 days feel noble. Day 3 gets busy. Day 4, you're tired. Day 5 arrives with guilt, wearing the mask of perfection. If I can't do a full hour, I won't do anything. And then the week disappears. Your brain whispers, "See, I can't stick to plans." But the truth is kinder. It wasn't your character that failed. It was the architecture of your plan. A plan built entirely on time, on showing up for X minutes, ignores how attention works, how motivation rises and falls, how life surprises us. On the other side, maybe you've tried the result only path. Reach B2 in 6 months, big, shiny, and clear. But unless you translate that goal into daily motion, the finish line feels so far away that your feet forget how to move. If time only can feel empty, result only can feel heavy. And you, my friend, are not a machine. You need meaning to keep showing up, and you need momentum to keep believing. So, what do these strategies actually look like when they're alive in a real day? Time based means you commit to the clock: 10 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of shadowing, 20 minutes of speaking into your phone. Your success metric is simple: did I show up? There's power in that simplicity. You remove negotiation, you remove the courtroom in your head where motivation argues with excuses. You do your minutes. That's it. The benefit is consistency. The risk is drifting. You can fill your minutes with activities that feel productive, but don't change your abilities. Rewatching the same teacher, re-highlighting the same rules, circling the same safe words. You're moving, but like a treadmill, lots of steps, same spot. Result based turns the camera to outcomes. By Friday, I will narrate yesterday's routine in 2 minutes without a script. Or this week, I will learn and use 10 verbs about work in 3 short conversations. Or by the end of the month, I will pass the B1 listening mock test at 70%. The benefit is direction. Your brain loves clarity. The risk is pressure. When the outcome is all that counts, a bad day can feel like proof you'll never get there. And when your identity gets tied to a scoreboard, mistakes feel personal, not educational. Let's bring this closer. Picture two learners, Anna and Leo. Anna is time first. Every morning, she sets a 15-minute timer, listens to a podcast segment twice, and shadows for the last 5 minutes. She keeps a tiny log: date, episode title, 3 new expressions. She doesn't chase fireworks. She collects small sparks. After 4 weeks, her mouth knows the rhythm of everyday English, and her ears catch common reductions she used to miss. She's not perfect, but she is warmer, looser, steadier. Now meet Leo. Result first. He hates the timer. He wants proof. On Sunday, he writes, "By Saturday, I'll tell a 2-minute story about a problem I solved at work using 8 target verbs: handle, schedule, negotiate, arrange, review, submit, track, resolve." He practices in bursts, records drafts, rewrites lines he trips over, and on Saturday, he sends a clean recording to a friend. He pushes, he polishes, he performs. After 4 weeks, his storytelling is punchier and his verbs are alive. Both have grown. Both would struggle if they switched completely to the other extreme. The real art is to integrate Anna's rhythm and Leo's target into one system you can love on ordinary days. So, what does that integrated system look like? Think of it as a compass and an engine. The engine is your daily minutes, the non negotiable rhythm that keeps your wheels turning even when weather is bad. The compass is your weekly or bi weekly outcome, the small destination that ensures your miles add up to somewhere you actually want to go. Without the engine, you stall. Without the compass, you wander. With both, you travel. Let's design yours together. Choose one identity sentence. I am the kind of person who practices English every day, even for 10 minutes. This is not a slogan. It's a decision about the type of person you are becoming. From that identity, build a daily minimum, 10 minutes of intentional practice. Not scrolling, not passive wishing, intentional. You can rotate activities, listening, shadowing, micro reading, speaking, or a blend, but keep the doorway tiny so you always step through it. Then add a weekly deliverable, something observable and savable. For example, a 1-minute voice note describing a photo you took, a 2-minute story about a conversation you had, a short reflection on a quote, a summary of an article. Save these in a single folder named with dates. That folder becomes a mirror of your growth. When motivation dips, open it and listen. Your proof is talking back to you. Now let's talk about attention. Time only fails if your minutes are unfocused. Result only fails if your target is too far. The bridge is tight focus, tiny scope. Rather than saying, I will improve speaking, say, this week my mouth will master 5 high-frequency chunks about schedules. I'm tied up until, can we push it to, I'm flexible after, let me check my calendar, I'll circle back by. Practice them in drills, say them in the shower, insert them in texts, and perform them in your weekly recording. Next week, switch domains, opinions, requests, clarifications, compliments, apologizing. The world of fluency is built from these islands of automatic language. Your job is to map and occupy one island at a time. I want to pause on something tender, the fear of sounding silly. Many learners hide in time-based routines because they feel safer than real use. They read, they highlight, they watch alone. The page doesn't judge, the video doesn't frown, but silence has a cost. Muscles strengthen under load. Speech is a muscle. So give yourself microloads. One sentence to the barista, a short voice message to yourself while walking, a 2-line comment on a YouTube video in kind English, a reply to a forum question. These are tiny stressors that teach your mouth and brain to cooperate in the wild. Pair each microload with a micro celebration, a check mark, a nice one, a smile. Don't wait for praise. Be your own quiet coach. Let's build an example. Week together, simple, humane, sustainable. Monday, 10 minutes of listening to a short, clear segment. First listen for gist, second with partial shadowing, then write down 3 useful chunks and say them 3 times each. Tuesday, 10 minutes of speaking to your recorder, describing a simple scene, your desk, your commute, what you cooked. Don't edit as you speak. Just keep air moving. Wednesday, 10 minutes reading a short article. Underline realistic phrases you'd actually say, then speak 2 sentences that repurpose them for your life. Thursday, 10 minutes of focused pronunciation linking, reductions, or one tricky cluster like TR or TH. Do it in your mirror, watch your tongue, slow equals control. Friday, 10 minutes of review. Open your notes, re-speak Monday's chunks, Tuesday's description, Wednesday's adapted lines, Thursday's sounds. Saturday, record your weekly deliverable, a 2-minute story that uses at least 5 chunks you encountered. Don't aim for perfect diction, aim for continuous flow. Sunday, listen back, write 3 lines of feedback to yourself. What sounded better? What I want to fix? One chunk I will carry into next week. That's it. 60 to 80 minutes total. A system that breathes, teaches, and accumulates. Notice how the week blends time, daily 10, and results, weekly 2-minute piece. Notice how the scope is tiny. Tiny doesn't mean trivial. Tiny means repeatable enough to matter. Repetition is a multiplier. If you repeat sloppy work, you multiply sloppiness. If you repeat deliberate work, you multiply skill. Deliberate work is not longer, it's clearer. 1 focused minute beats 10 fuzzy minutes. That's why smallness plus clarity plus consistency outperforms big promises plus vague effort every single month. Now let's address perfectionism, that elegant thief of momentum. Perfectionism sells a cruel story. Once you sound perfect, then you can speak. But the logic is backward. You speak to become clear. You do not become clear by waiting. Imagine a child learning to ride a bike. They don't read a guidebook for 3 months and then climb on, flawless. They wobble forward, laugh, overcorrect, fall, and try again. Fluency is balance, not memorization. Your balance appears through movement, so build psychological safety into your system. Pick a weekly topic that you could discuss in your first language with zero stress: your breakfast, your shoes, a neighbor's dog, a small mistake that taught you something. Familiar topics reduce cognitive load so English gets your best attention. Once a month, choose a slightly sharper topic, an opinion, a challenge at work, a small dream. Alternate comfort and stretch. That rhythm grows you without freezing you. Let's talk about measurement and kindness. Metrics matter, but you must choose ones that fuel rather than shame you. Count streaks if streaks motivate you, but forgive breaks without drama. Track hours if hours inspire you, but pair them with artifacts, audio, notes, screenshots so your effort has a face. My favorite metric is the 2-month mirror. On the first Sunday of the month, record a 2-minute free talk on a recycled topic, like what I learned this month. Save it. 2 months later, record the same prompt and compare. You'll hear changes you can't feel day to day. Cleaner linking, fewer hesitations, stronger endings. Progress hides in the small. The mirror makes it visible. Now I want to share a story that belongs to nobody and therefore belongs to all of us. A listener I'll call Min sent me 2 recordings, 6 weeks apart. In the first, his voice tiptoed soft volume, trailing ends, long pauses while he searched for safe words. In the second, the grammar wasn't perfect, but something deeper had shifted. He sounded present. Words came with more certainty. His sentences had a spine. I asked what changed. He said, I stopped trying to be interesting and started trying to be honest for 2 minutes a day. Honesty is lighter than performance. When you aim at honest, your brain relaxes, your mouth opens, and skill can grow. Try it. This week, let your 2 minute piece be called 2 honest minutes. Say 3 true things about your day. Use simple words and clear rhythm. That simplicity is not a limitation, it's an invitation to flow. What about grammar and vocabulary, you ask? Where do they fit in a balanced system? Not as separate kingdoms, but as servants of expression. Instead of memorizing 50 isolated words, choose 5 that you will use this week in 5 different sentences connected to your life. Instead of drilling an abstract tense sheet, take one pattern, I've been searching since for, and weave it into daily mini reflections. I've been cutting sugar for 2 weeks. I've been waking up earlier since Monday. I've been avoiding my phone before breakfast for 4 days. Grammar becomes muscle when it carries meaning you care about. And vocabulary becomes yours when it finds a home in your mouth, not just your notebook. Let's also make room for environment and identity, the quiet forces that either fight you or carry you. Environment first. Put your tools where your hands expect them. A podcast playlist pre-downloaded. A note template already created. Date today's chunk. My sentence, one feeling. A recorder shortcut on your home screen. A sticky note that says 10 is enough. If you remove friction, your future self doesn't have to negotiate. Now, identity. Call yourself a daily English user, not a student. Users use. Students wait to be taught. When you shift identity, your choices follow. You open your mouth in small ways during your day, not because a teacher assigned it, but because users use. Let's zoom out and look at seasons. Life has them. There will be weeks where your minutes are abundant and your targets can be bigger. There will be weeks where your minutes are scarce and your target is simply to keep the habit alive. A balanced strategy flexes with the season. During heavy weeks, keep your daily 10, but shrink your weekly deliverable to 1 honest minute. Quality of presence matters more than length. During spacious weeks, grow your deliverable to 3 minutes, or add a tiny listener, send it to a friend, and invite a single question. Think of yourself as a runner who adjusts pace to the terrain but keeps moving through the course. Let's also speak about accountability, the friendly kind that supports without shaming. You don't need a crowd. One person is enough. Tell them your weekly deliverable and send it when it's done. If you miss, don't hide. Send a catch-up plan in one line. I'll do a 1 minute version tonight and a fresh 2 minutes on Saturday. Accountability is not punishment. It's lighting a small lamp outside your house so it's easier to find your door in the dark. Maybe you worry about accent. Let me gift you a reframe. Clarity first, melody later. The world doesn't need your vowel to mimic a movie. It needs your message to land. Make friends with the music of English by practicing chunks, not isolated words. Link want to into wanna, going to into gonna, do you into dia. Not as slang, but as sound bridges that loosen your flow. Choose 2 connectors per week. The thing is, to be honest. On top of that, said, what surprised me was those are little doors that let your thoughts move without stopping to rebuild grammar. The more doors you install, the smoother your house feels. Let's integrate listening in a way that feeds speaking. Try the listen, lift, live loop. Listen to a short clip with natural speech. Lift 3 lines you love short, portable, useful. Live them by repurposing them today. If the clip says, here's the funny part, you might say later, here's the weird part about my morning. If the clip says, I wasn't expecting that, you might use it when your bus arrives early. Language is Lego. Lift a piece, click it into your world, admire the click. I want to address discouragement because it will visit. One day you'll hear yourself and think, I'm not improving. That thought feels true in the moment, but it's often the sound of your standards rising good news disguised as disappointment. When that wave hits, do two things. First, zoom out, open your folder, and listen to a recording from 6 weeks ago. Compare with kindness. Second, zoom in. Do your 10 minutes right now with a very small task, like reading a paragraph aloud 3 times, smoother each time. Action is the antidote to spirals. You don't need to fix your whole journey. You only need to take the next gentle step. Let's talk about boredom. Routine will sometimes feel dull, and that's not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're building. Still, you can season your routine without breaking it. Theme your weeks: food week, work week, memory week, travel week, advice week, or change your audience. One week record as if speaking to a friend, the next to a younger version of yourself, the next to a colleague, or add a tiny prop. Describe an object on your desk in detail. Tell the story it reminds you of. These playful adjustments keep your engine warm while your compass stays steady. Now, perhaps you're thinking, this all sounds good, but my life is chaotic. Then your strategy must be anti fragile, able to bend without breaking. Build a micro kit, a playlist of 3 clips under 2 minutes, a note titled 20 prompts, and a ritual cue like, after brushing my teeth, I record one sentence. On the hardest days, do the smallest version, one truthful sentence. Seriously, one. I am tired, but I showed up. That sentence isn't a cop out, it's a rope you throw forward so tomorrow has something to grab. Let me offer you a compact blueprint you can adopt immediately and adapt forever. Identify: I am a daily English user. Minimum: 10 minutes of intentional practice, no 0 days. Weekly result: one 2-minute spoken piece saved to my folder every Sunday. Cycles: 4 weeks on tiny domains, schedules, opinions, requests, stories, then 1 week of consolidation. Measurement: 2-month mirror compare today's and 2 months ago's recordings. Recovery: if I miss, I do one honest minute the next day. Streak resumes. Kindness: I celebrate small wins in writing 3 lines every Sunday. Print it, copy it, or whisper it. The form doesn't matter. What matters is that it becomes yours. Not because I said so, but because you test it until it fits your life like a good shoe. As we start to land, I want to return to the heart. Why this balance works beyond technique. Balanced practice respects the human nervous system. Time-based ritual reduces decision fatigue. Your brain relaxes when it knows what to do. Result-based targets provide meaning. Your heart leans forward when it knows why the minutes matter. Together, they create a loop of trust. You trust yourself to show up, and you trust the process to take you somewhere. The opposite, the all or nothing approach, erodes trust. Miss one big session, feel like a failure, avoid the task, miss again. A balanced system breaks that cycle with forgiving edges and visible steps. So here is your gentle challenge for the next 7 days. Choose a tiny daily doorway and a tiny weekly window. Doorway: 10 minutes after breakfast or before bed. Window: on Sunday, a 2-minute story titled One Small Thing I Noticed. Prepare a single page in your notes with 7 boxes labeled Mon Sun. Pre-type your prompt for the week. Pre-choose 3 chunks you intend to use. Pre-decide your record time. Then, on day 1, don't try to impress. Try to arrive. Put air behind your words and let your voice be the hero for simply existing on the tape. On day 2, repeat. On day 3, repeat. On day 4, repeat. On day 5, repeat. On day 6, repeat. On day 7, tell your small story and save it. After, write 3 lines, one thing that sounded better, one thing to smooth next week, and one sentence of gratitude to yourself for keeping a promise. That is not a small act. That is you building a bridge to the future you. When doubt returns, and it will remember this, you do not need to be perfect to be powerful. You need to be present. You do not need 2 hours. You need 10 honest minutes and a clear, kind target. You do not need to sound like anyone else. You need to sound like yourself, steadily, more confidently, week by week. And one day, without fireworks, you will notice that conversations feel lighter, that your tongue finds words it used to drop, that your laugh arrives in English without apology. That day will look ordinary from the outside. Inside, you will know what it really is, the quiet victory of consistency with direction. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message sparked something in you, let it become action. Now pick your doorway, pick your window, write them down, and take your first 10 minutes today. Not because you must, but because you can. You are not behind. You are right on time, and every small step you take is evidence that you are building a life that fits the person you're becoming. I'm proud of you for listening. I'm proud of you for trying, and I can't wait to hear your voice clearer, calmer, more you 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 2 months from now in that mirror recording. Until then, keep your engine humming, keep your compass steady, and keep flowing forward.